So this section that you described, it's 19 miles. The first 12 miles, it's a up-down action. So you go up. He's obviously doing that right now. You crest the hill. You can power this section, absolutely. You can kind of just crest it, blow it out, crest over, and kind of settle back into the aero bars and keep the speed going. You can. Not always the smartest thing, but you can. As you finish out that 12 miles, there's a bend in the road. It stops having that direct crosswind action we described. You bend to the right. You got 7 miles climbing up to Javi the rest of the way. That's predominantly without a break. You go up, up, up for 6 miles, 6.25 miles. The last 3/4 mile, you dip down into Javi. You're cresting. So what happens then as your road bends? Picture this at home, folks. Wind's hitting you on the right. Wind's hitting you on the right. Wind's hitting you on the right. You turn to the right. The wind's hitting in your face. You will climb. Gearing at times can be the small chain ring. So even a massive man of a cyclist like Andy Starkowitz may find himself gearing way down. So that happens because it's a direct headwind. The wind and the rain that you discussed, sometimes it feels quite nice. The overcast skies hit you and you're getting dusted with a little brush of moisture. Here's Meredith Kessler. Very easy. Thank you, Meredith, for wearing the MBK on your butt. That helps me out. I won't call you the wrong name as I did with Richie earlier. So here's Meredith Kessler. She is cranking it. So she's again, not afraid to be up front. She enjoys it. I'm going to speculate she gains energy, as I said, by being up front. Meredith Kessler, having won Ironman New Zealand earlier in the year, really notched back, and I do think that helps her end project. I do think that really helps her to save. Last year, she fizzled. So when she fizzled, she said, oh, you know what? I've got to figure out a way to kind of overcome in Kona. She's won a lot of races on any given day, Greg. You can pick her for the win, but she's not really excelled in Kona. She's gotten last year's 7th place finish, and then after that, like 26th, a couple dropouts. So she hasn't had the best history here, and she knows that. She wants to turn that over today.
Yeah, she's working pretty hard. We can see that our swim cutoff is approaching down there. We're less than 7 minutes away from our age group men, and then just under the 220 mark for our women today, 220 mark for everyone, but we have around about 7 minutes away from our men's cutoff and 17 minutes for our women's age group cutoff there right now. So we're getting very, very close to seeing all of our swimmers out of the water and onto our Blue Cycles bike course today. Now, I did notice that Meredith Kessler was looking around, considerably just a moment ago, just wondering where everyone is. Is it the time that I make my move? We did see earlier in the race today that she made that aggressive move up to the swim and up to the in the swim up to the feet of Jodie Swallow today. So we know that she's putting in huge efforts. And is that detriment to the race for Meredith?
You only have so many efforts like that, as we talked about. But Meredith Kessler, we know this too. She trains indoors an immense amount of time. She hosts, teaches spin classes. That's something she's familiar with. She rides a trainer indoors for her training. This gal has some of that high end that a lot of the Ironman athletes have neglected historically. So it means that if your threshold or your functional threshold on the bike, if that's high, if those watts are way up there, you can push up towards them a tiny bit above them and not pay the price. So she may well be all within that range. Again, looking at Meredith, this is a gal who has really honed her all-around game, and an exceptional swimmer, as we saw. She's really great on the run. 55 Ironman wins means she has experience. Most of those were as an age grouper, but the gal has it. So right now, Meredith, I think, again, if she can keep if she can trust, and perhaps, Greg, to really answer your question, when she lights it up like that and puts those efforts, it probably makes her feel good. It probably gives her a confidence that she needs.
All right, so 1 minute and 30 seconds is the gap that has been taken out of these girls from the start of the bike ride today. Rachel Joyce, Daniela Reef, Caroline Steffen, and Liz Blatchford are now 40 seconds back from our leading trio. That is Mary Beth Ellis, Meredith Kessler, and Jodie Swallow. So now we are looking at a very exciting race as we approach Kauai High, as we're about to have a group of 3 turn into a group of 7 there, Michael, with our very strong cyclists in our women's side, coming to the fore. Leander Cave is 3 minutes and 15 back at the moment, and Amanda Stevens is still at around about 2:35 down. So Amanda Stevens hanging in there, but Carfrey, where is Carfrey? She was at 6 minutes and 10 seconds at the beginning of the bike, so we're just going to wait and see where she is.
And we've got some good spotters out there, this Ironman Live crew. They're just feeding us the info, and so the question is, where is Carfrey? where is Carfrey? So we just, we don't know. We'll find out. And when we find out, or if you find out, you let us know. We'll bring that information in.
So today, yes, the Big Ring Bike Insurance, Big Ring Ironman Bike Bonus goes to Andy Starkowitz today. So he's taken that $1,500 for the Big Ring Bike Insurance Preem today. So well done to Andy Starkowitz. And by the look of it, our girls, they're going to be fighting for that $1,500 because those three, I think they're going to get it in front of our extra, our four girls that are actually trailing our leaders at the moment. But the pursuers, they are going to be trying very hard to be a part of that Big Ring Bike Insurance Bike Preem today. So getting very close to our cutoff for our men age group is coming up here momentarily inside of the next 3 minutes. And then in 13 minutes time for our overall swim cutoff coming for our age group women as well today. So we've had just under 2,000 athletes toe the line this morning with over 1,500 of those athletes being men and 600 women athletes in the race today. So we're seeing our final few swimmers coming into the finish line of the swim. The tier swim is almost set to close off at 2:20 into it. That's 9:20 local time here in Hawaii.
And it becomes an emotional moment. It's very tough to sit there and watch the people that don't quite make it. Most often they get in, but it is it's kind of a tense moment. We're standing there. Often you've got family members, friends waiting on their person, and it's so close. And unfortunately, your day ends if you don't make that 2 hours 20 cutoff. Your day ends. The answer is no. You cannot continue if you don't make that cutoff. And so hopefully we'll see them all cruise across the line. It's an exciting moment. It's just a little tense. And so certainly we hope to see these guys come across. Folks bearing with us at home, we rely upon the camera pictures that we get from the helicopter over there towards Javi, and sometimes they come in and out of range. So we do lose that, but we gain it back, and as soon as we do, we'll get to you. Right now, focusing on a really nice little shot there down by the water. Some of these volunteers and, again, fans, friends waiting to see if their loved ones make it across the line. Good stuff in the swim.
Yeah, so as I was saying, 9:10 our swim cutoff for our age group men and 9:20 for our women's, as our men started at 6:50 a.m. this morning. So that would be 2 hours and 20 minutes out onto the course for everyone today. So coming up 9:10, the cutoff for our men, and 9:20 for our women.
So we've got Meredith Kessler back on camera, and again, we know that she's been at the front for a while now. We know she's comfortable in that role as a leader. We still don't know what went down. I do know that the first penalty tent is approaching. So the first penalty tent is at mile 40 or 42. So if we do have someone need to stop, for example, if someone got that yellow or red card, that penalty tent comes up very soon. So a couple more rollers here on the Queen K before you tee at Kauai High, hang that left mile downhill and onto Javi. So just a little orientation for those of you that are viewing at home. We're still on that main section, that meaty section of the Queen K. So as we approach the T junction, just before that, about 40 miles is where we'll see that penalty tent where folks will serve, maybe 38 miles.
So let's talk about the real heroes of the race today. Our age groupers are down there just coming out of the water. Matt Lieto's down there to capture all the action. What's it like, Matt?
Hey guys, thanks so much. Yeah, we have just a minute and 10 seconds now before the last male swimmer is allowed to finish. So right now we have a gentleman coming up out of the water, getting some help from our volunteers. He's in a rush because he knows he needs to make it. Great job coming through as he goes to the showers. But right now we have a few more athletes coming up out of the water as well. We've got two athletes in that final stretch. Right now, we have one of our female competitors. She's got plenty of time. She has an extra 10 minutes. Here we go, a few females coming, but that blue cap is another one of our last male finishers. He has 30 seconds. 30 seconds. He's heard that he only has 30 seconds, and he's sprinting. His day is over if he doesn't cross that. Awesome. Look at that effort. I haven't seen that before. Usually when they're close, it's a struggle, but man, he sprinted across that finish line. How about that swim finish, guys?
Great, Matt. That is very good stuff. And, we do rely a bit on some of our spotters and some of our friends out on the course. one of the folks did tweet in or message us rather that we were hearing from Jody directly that she received a penalty. So she communicated that to one of our spotters on the course. So we've had that, again, 100% confirmation come to you soon, but it's a pretty reliable source saying that Jody barked that across to her, said, hey, I've been penalized. We'll see what it is, stop and go or 4 minutes. Big difference there.
Yeah, she'll have to go into the next available penalty tent, and that's probably going to come up at Kauai High or Harvey today, as we see one of our swimmers just coming into the end of the swim there. The men's cutoff is done, so now we're going to head toward our women's cutoff at 9:20 local time this morning. So all of our 550 women athletes out there have either come across the line or they are making their way very close to coming out of the tier swim course today, as they're fastly approaching that 9:20 hour today here at the 2014 Ironman World Championship presented by GoPro. And what a beautiful morning it's been so far. Temperatures started off at 72 degrees this morning, Michael, with 79% humidity. The humidity seems to have lifted a little bit. The temperature is rising up to about 86 degrees at the top temperatures today. But when we get past that midday hour, Mike, the humidity's going to kick in again.
Oh man, it sure does. It burns off, comes back. It's a challenging environment. That's why we see all these great performances, the great blow-ups. It's just the elements add to that, and you've got this top-level fitness and these top-level competitive athletes, and egos are clashing, game plans clashing, and strategies mixing. It's just such a fun little cauldron, little mixing pot. But as we look again, this is that shot on the Queen K. This is Meredith Kessler out of the saddle. Hold on, I've got Jody Swallow again. I'm seeing Jody Swallow. So basically, it's good, and you can tell, Jody's got the aero helmet, and Meredith does not. That's a very good indicator then if you're staring straight on these gals. But, the questions that came in, what is it scientifically speaking? Can you produce a number that says an aero helmet is better? Sure, in the wind tunnel. Wind tunnel, Schmin tunnel, I don't like it. I think if you look at what is that particular athlete's preference? If you're inside of an aero helmet and it just steams you up, bakes you up, makes you feel bad, don't wear it. That's just as simple as that. If it makes you sweat profusely, don't wear it. Okay, sorry. That's Starkowitz. There he goes.
Starkowitz is doing a great job leading the race right now. He's starting to accelerate away from his competition now. We were talking about at the top of the show about that, Kauai High, Harvey area where that's always been the spot where the athletes, are decided by the boys and the men and the girls and the women. But I tell you what, Starkey's going a little bit earlier. I think he feels the need for some speed, and if he wants to get up to that bike course record, he's absolutely doing the right thing right now.
Look at this tweet, Greg. Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
I have workouts to do, and I should clean the house, but I can't stop watching #IronMan Kona.
Oh,
Thanks
we
for
love
being
ya.
there. And again, check that in. That's a good tweet from our field. We take these up, we read them when they're good like that, and it's good stuff.
RJ Strepsky, thank you very much for
Ellis.
Yeah, thanks very much for tweeting us there today. So if you want to ask us a question, I'm at Ironman Live, Greg. Matt's at Matt Lieto, and at Michael Lovato for my co-host here today. As we just about to hit the 19 there, Mikey, we're going to hit the left, go down 1 mile to Kauai High, and then start climbing all the way to Harvey.
Absolutely, ups and downs, but it's a gradual, solid climb. We've still got Jody, MBK, MBE, Marybeth Ellis. She has just been tucked in, playing a smart game, not showing her face up front, not needing to. So this gal, you know what? She's been 5th here before, and guess what, guys? 5th place was disappointing to her that year. She was really bummed. She had won all her Ironmans leading into that, has 8 total in her quiver, but she was disappointed with 5th. She wants to go above that. I think she really wants to blast it out, and she's got the tools to do so. These 3 women, again, still steering clear of Rachel Joyce and Daniela Reef. Some danger, as well as Liz Blatchford, a lot of danger. So, man, these 6 just getting away. Someone told us they thought they had caught Rennie about 8 minutes down. Again, we don't know, but when we know, we will let you know.
Yes, the desert-like conditions on the Kahala coast of the Big Island are prevailing right now. We are going to get up into that spot where Andrew Starkowitz will start making his way around to the right-hand side at the top of the island. The north part of the island is the Harvey town. I was saying before that we have 12 microclimates in Harvey, so it can get cooler, it can get very warm, it rains a lot up there, and it's great for horticulture as well as agriculture. So you can see these girls now, they are descending down into the town of Kauai. Mike, you did mention it was a 1 mile downhill descent here, and so that means when they come out of Kauai on the other side, they've got that 1 mile back up to the Queen Ka'umano Highway before they have to head back into town. But right now we're over 40 miles in our women's race as they head down to the town of Kauai. They'll make that sharp right-hand turn and then start heading up to Harvey Town.
And for sure, and just looking at the women right there, yeah, it's a mile. I mean, you mentioned the reverse. We'll get there in a bit. That is the world's hottest segment of riding, proven, known to man. It's a mile uphill where it's almost like riding on the surface of the sun. Proven fact. I think science says that. So again, we talk a lot about the pros, and we've got some great footage just before these guys, these women rather, hit the bottom, turn right to go up to Hawi. Well, let's take a close look. They're there, and they come in here, and they've got to tackle 17 miles. Okay, 17 miles of just up, up, up. They're not there yet. They're going to turn right and do it. When they do, we mentioned this, 12 miles of roly-poly, up, down, little breaks. The last bit, you turn right, 7 miles, no brakes. It's straight, usually into a wind. It's straight into town. It's straight into where you're headed all day, the turnaround. But it is really tough. You'll see a lot of folks just gearing down. Oh my gosh, I'm in the easiest gear. No more easy gears left. It's a tense, it's a tough moment.
Yeah, very tough moment there. So we're inside of that last 3 minutes at the moment on our swim course.
So here's the thing, Welchie. We look at these pros, and they're honestly just incredible athletes. We'll watch them all day long, but also out there on course is our Ironman Foundation athletes. And one of the guys that we have out there, he's a Green Bay Packer, a Jacksonville Jaguar, Wisconsin Badger, and a wealth manager, all rolled into one Ironman triathlete. So Don Davey not only brings the NFL background to this competition, but he also leverages business acumen to raise more than $85,000 for the Ironman Foundation. The Ironman Foundation, along with Firehouse Subs, Public Safety Foundation, is supporting the critical life-saving needs of first responder groups in Ironman communities around the country. But Davey says his biggest challenge in moving from the NFL to Ironman was reconditioning every muscle in his body from explosive high action to high endurance. He's wearing bib number 18, 817 today, and he's competing in the 45-49 age group. He's learned to balance a good, high-energy life. He lives in Florida. The other thing about him, he's a fan of Jimmy Buffett.
As we all are. Well done to Don Davey out there today. Incredible career in the NFL. But we're going to go down to Matt Lieto, who's standing by at the swim exit.
Yeah, thanks so much, Greg. Yeah, we do have one of our female athletes getting some help out, struggling. It's hard to get back on your feet when you've been swimming for so long, but she's right in. She has 2 minutes, 10 seconds to get up these stairs. She's got plenty of time. And this is Sister Madonna Booter, absolute legend in this sport, and she's got 2 minutes to spare. Amazing work from Madonna, going through the showers. She's got a long day ahead of her, but she can check one off of the list. She's made the swim, and it was a tough day out there. So for Sister Madonna Booter, she's thrown me for a loop with her name. Apologies, but she's gone through. Great swim from her, and right now we have a shot of, unfortunately, Andy, our Grim Reaper of the swim, has to inform this gentleman that he has missed the cutoff. And there are women around him that have made it, but because of the split time, he unfortunately has missed out. And this is the part of Andy's job he hates. He has to be the guy to break the news. This gentleman thought he had made it, but unfortunately he hadn't. So bad news for him, missed the cutoff, 2:20, just about 8 minutes too late. And right now we've got a minute left, and we've got 2 more female athletes within 20 meters of getting out of this swim course, and they absolutely have to start hauling. It's hard. It takes a lot of time for them to cover this distance, but you can tell these women are really pushing their effort. All these volunteers want to help them. They don't know how close they are. They're telling them, you have 35 seconds. You have to get up these stairs in 35 seconds, and she's done it. 30 seconds to go. Absolutely unbelievable. Great work by these two women, getting up in matching kits nonetheless with 30 seconds left to go. So right now, we come back to the swim exit, and this is what we're going to do to close down the swim. It doesn't look like we have any other finishers down in this finish shoot area. So right now, the swim course is getting ready to be closed with 2 seconds to go. Now we are done. Unfortunately, if anybody is still out there, they are not able to finish this swim course at the World Championships. But so exciting down here. Everybody down here wants them to cross this finish line. Great work by this volunteer crew. You get this shot, tons of energy. Everybody's safe, and Mike Riley closes down this swim course.
Thank you very much, Matt. And we're going to head back out onto the bike course here at the moment. So the GoPro Ironman World Championship here is wrapping up on the swim course. The tier swim course has now come to a close. So the 2014 Ironman World Championship presented by GoPro is officially done with our swim. And I tell you what, Mikey.
Little shout out though, Greg. Hey,
yeah.
Look at all those volunteers. I mean, that's what makes this event special, isn't it?
Yeah.
So many volunteers here, like what, 6,000 or so?
It's unbelievable. Diana Birch